Thank you. Last Tuesday, Florida State Senate President Joe Negrin endorsed the purchase of 60,000 acres just south of Lake Okeechobee, where toxic runoff is currently being rerouted to the St. Lucie and Caloosahatchee estuaries. Since 2014, money has been set aside from Florida Amendment 1, the Florida Water and Land Conservation Initiative, developed to acquire and improve conservation easements, wetlands, and forests, and land in the Everglades agricultural areas, this land that we're talking about. Governor Scott and the majority of legislators have thus far refused to use this money for land acquisition, claiming that there is no proof that it will work. Another reason Scott may be denying the use of these funds is that Florida Crystals, which owns nearly 60% of the proposed land, claims that the land acquisition could potentially put them out of business. I'm glad to see this proposal endorsed by a Republican senator. For too long, issues of ecology and conservation have been partisan issues. Florida's water issues will affect all Floridians, possibly all Americans. We need for all of our electeds to be on the same page on this issue. So I'm very interested to see how this will play out and if we will find a solution for our problem. Next, the Sister City Board met last Monday. It is, I believe, the fourth time in a row that we've not had a quorum. We do currently have enough members, though, so we're going to try to get one more on there before the next meeting. But if you're on the Sister City Board, I encourage you to please come out so that we can vote and start making some things happen there. And on a sadder note, but relevant to, we just did the proclamation for Overdose Awareness Day, and I wanted to mention a story that happened outside of the city in Tequesta, but I know we've had this conversation here too. A 19-year-old college student high on the drug Flocka murdered a couple at their home. When police arrived, they found that he had stabbed both of the victims and that he was making animal noises and had actually devoured the man's face. I apologize for being so gruesome, but we have had the discussion of Flocka here in Lake Worth. We know the drug is present here in Lake Worth, or at least has been present. Please know the seriousness of it. 3 lives were forever changed here, both the assailant and the victims, not including all of their friends and family who are also affected. So please educate yourselves, educate your children, your young children, your college students. This is something they might do once for fun that could have devastating effects for the rest of their lives. So don't do Flocka. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioner. I appreciate that. We good? Vice Mayor?
Thank you. I haven't much this evening other than I was pleased to learn that the local court system had ruled in favor of the city with respect to the lawsuit to tie up and obstruct on some level, I guess, the development of the Gulfstream Hotel. I'm hoping now that the folks that own the Gulfstream Hotel will understand they have a clear path to redeveloping as they had committed to in the past. One of the questions that's been asked of me on a number of occasions over the last several days, and frankly I guess it's a relevant question, is, you know, obviously there was an expense involved to the city to deal with this case. And my question is, do we have a dollar value on that, the expense of the taxpayers?
Well, thanks for stealing my thunder.
Later in your attorney report.
But I'm gonna say that, yes, I couldn't tell you at top tip what the expense was, but we will certainly file a motion with the court seeking attorney's fees and court costs. And court costs are relatively easy to recover, and that's usually a very small amount. The attorney's fees are harder to recover, and that'll be a large amount. And I can let you know at the next meeting what that exact amount is. I would guesstimate 25,000 or so, but that's really just a guesstimate.
Well, I stole your thunder, but you also stole my question or my statement. That is, I would like to see us address the recovery, if we could, of the taxpayer dollars that are expended on this effort. So that's all I got.
Thank you. I'll just give a quick update. Actually 4 o'clock this afternoon, we had the Mayor's Education Council meeting. That's an organization, for those of you that don't know. We had no formal relationship and dialogue with our schools in the city of Lake Worth. And we know that the county operates the school system, but we certainly should have a relationship with all the people taking care of our children in our community. So Principal Lockhart, I see here too, he just came from that meeting. We've got a lot of great directions that we were looking to go in, and one of the first being opening up the lines of communication so that the schools, events, auditions, tryouts, things, parent-teacher conferences, all different types of events will hopefully go into our utility bills if it doesn't change our postage rate. We're going to look into the paper on that to make sure we don't increase it too much on the postage, and get quarterly updates from all the schools and things that are going on, and also adding a section to our city website that will also allow people to go online and see what the kids are doing and be a part of the community. There's no reason why that stadium shouldn't be full, Principal, for the football games and other types of events. We've got to let people in Lake Worth know that that we care about the kids and that we're a part of it and that we're a part of the community. And I'm going to hold you to that homecoming parade. I'm working on it. We actually changed the parade. They used to just do it on the property, and then we got it to come downtown, but they couldn't cross over the railroad tracks. But then it was in the middle of the day, so a lot of people are working. So we're working on this idea for a nighttime parade / bonfire, like the kids had when you went to your homecoming when you were kids, when we were kids. So, but a lot of fun things that'll be happening, as well as supporting the increase for VPK programs, after-school programs for middle school kids, and I believe that I'll be able to, the next time around, have the results of possibly our first new VPK middle school model that might be happening in one of our churches. So I'll give you an update on that as it becomes more formal. But we're here to assist and anyone who'd like to get involved in that. We've got an advisory council. I mentioned that in the meeting. I've sent everybody home in that group with the ordinance that we had before us on the advisory council, and we're going to talk about that and make sure that whatever we do or create as a board, if we do create a board, has input from our leaders in education. So, just want to give you an update on that. All right, public participation of non-agenda items and